Ball Harbor.
West Street is also on the National Registry of Towns for Party Town. And we're going to go to Cadillac Mountain first. Are you good?
This sounds fun.
Alright, let's see if we can do something about that. Donate land to the park. And then the third individual that joined that group was John D. Rockefeller Jr. Mr. Rockefeller donated 11,000 acres of his personal land to Arcadia National Park to preserve Rockefeller's wishes. In 1932, when this road
It's a very foggy day. We are up in the Cadillac Mountains.
And then we're going to go by Thunder Hole. I'll just show you this while we're up here. This is what it looks like when it's angry. And they rebait them and they take whatever catches in those traps and put them all in a live well and bring them back again to the harbor for sale. Most of them now, modern times, there's two ways that they sell their product. They have a distributor that meets them on the dock, and there's a very large brick cottage down to your left, right on the water. You can see this one, folks. This doesn't require an imagination, okay? Yeah. You'll see the chimney sticking up as I go right through this next little break of trees here.
Right. No.
There we go.
Wow.
That home, in 19 were to come across the Atlantic to come be married and live in that home. Unfortunately, she got on the wrong ship. They go swimming and they get about knee deep. As far as they want to go in, with the water temperature being between 50 and 55 degrees in the summertime.
Thunder Holt, Arcadia National Park.
I mean, on the second wave. Yep.
Thunder Holt, Arcadia National Park. Thunder Holt.
Route 1 runs from there's some new part of the trail out right here. They just replaced all this in here. They actually put wooden. Notice now that we are actually entering now and proceed through the park a little further on. It's always changing. Make sure that they're running with the current and the wind currents are. Geologists have done research on the granite that sits on and the granite of that boulder. It's called scientists call it erratic. It's a piece of rock that was dropped off by the glacier as it receded. The granite. All right. If you're interested, there is an ice cream parlor down here that sells lobster flavored ice cream. Got a bubble machine going to town. It's sitting there by itself. Cottage. Go in and walk around. They have a very wide selection of books. And then you've got a number. They give you a box lunch. You can come out and eat right out here. Scholar program here on a week-long basis, and they eat in there a couple times.
take a month or more to come across the pond,
Monday, July 8th.
and versus the early steam trips, we were able to do it in 2 weeks, and of course on a more regular basis. He had the contract for the Royal Mail, which makes us a lot newer than some of your eastern cities like Boston. And the reason being, when the French and English explorers are on Scotia, New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, and Newfoundland, and they're also a good chunk of the state of Maine. Braden sponsored the expedition. That was the last time to visit the garden. It's a lovely place to spend a few hours. Our house and the garden there. On the left side of the bus, coming into view, is the soccer stadium for our semi-pro soccer team, and then the next thing on our left is the I lived 20 railway system. He was involved in a lot of businesses, made a lot of money, built a summer home down where that tower is on the arm with, I want to say, I could be challenged this, I know it's more than 100 acres. And when he passed away, he was somebody in Vegas Cove. Not too bad this time of day. It'd be very expensive for you to get an Uber. Late in the day, we panicked because if you get left in Vegas, 2 buses. Late in the day, we were tight on time. I had a young couple could walk up to me and said, "Sir, can we get back to the city with you?" And I looked at them. They looked like tourist, ship passengers. I said, "You're on one of the ships?" They said, "Yeah." And I said, "How'd you get here?" "We hired an Uber." And I said, "He left you out here?" Because, I mean, Peggy's Cove is a very tiny place. It was less than 40. I'm finding I'm mowing. Anyway, that worked great for those years. When they went to university, I bought my snowblower. The fishing industry is established for a couple hundred years with the cod fishery. Cod was king. If you're from the New England area, you're quite familiar, I'm sure, with the cod fishery. But we've had a cod moratorium in Canada since '93. They overfished the stock and they put a moratorium on it. Most of the fishermen probably live some side of the bus. Just have a quick glance at it. Obviously, all around the lighthouse and the obvious commercial establishment, people wander. Some regulations, they keep below the 50-foot mark. But they're familiar with boats at all. I mean, they're 48 feet in length, 22 months. Now, you're going to Cape Breton, and the area you'll beat in Cape Breton, I'm fairly certain their season will run until July 15th. Actually, they were advertising Cape Breton lobster at the local supermarket here in Halifax last week for $7.99 a pound. Side the bus, just have a quick glance at it. Obviously, all around the lighthouse and some of your fellow guests put an hour in the opposite direction that we came, and that's where the vineyards are, and that's where the meat farm have more than one license, I would suggest. And notice how the vegetation just all of a sudden. If you grab something, you're allowed to bring food or drink on the bus. And when we stop the bus and park it, you can leave any personal belongings on board. Derek either stays with the bus or locks it and he walks away. But it's such a short stay. The Nova Scotia Tourist Bureau there, and there's a set of washrooms there. You walk down this far. And then Derek is going to go up over the rise. And if you look to your right, those of you on the right-hand side have an advantage now, but the people on the left will see it on the way back. So there's Mr. DeGrath's house, which they have an art gallery. And then there's the carving, there to the right. So if you're physically able to take the walk down the pathway here, just be cognizant of the time. I suggest you get down and check it out. And there's the cove right there to the right. It's a very tiny cove. I've brought a boat in here, private boat. You've got to have your chart. You got to know where the rocks are. And a couple of Cape Island fishing boats.
It is.
And of course, we're going to be parked just up past this blue building. If you do take a walk down the government wharf here on the right, I'm going to point out a feature that you don't often see in the world. Where those people are standing down the wharf, you'll notice a funnel on the left side, yellow and a little bit of red, it's faded. That's one of the few saltwater fire hydrants you're ever going to see. Because we're on rock here, nobody has a well. They all use cisterns. So if the fire happens here, they take the salt water into the ocean. So I can tell that's the only saltwater hydrant I've ever seen. If you see the red house over there and it's off its sides, over there to the right, hurricane 2 years ago did that. And of course, you can just see the lighthouse through the fog there on the right. But it's an easy walk, it's a boardwalk. There's washrooms. I should have pointed the second ones are down just by the McGarth Monument. There's public washrooms on the outside of this building that we're going to pull in and alongside. There's washrooms in the building itself where the restaurant and gift shop are. If you're a fan of lobster rolls, the takeout on the left, he sells a nice lobster roll.
కానీ ఇంత ఇట్లా బాగుంటే కనపడుతుంది లైట్ తిరుగుతూ ఉంది బాగా కనపడుతుంది బట్ బాగుంటే Midimantarao, we want. Oh, how many cameras you have? Oh, wow. Narayan, I'm leaving the orange.
Chris Crab. It's funny because when I lived, they left Nova Scotia after they got married, and I called my sister and I said, "You become a bit of a sister, so you're going to see a lot more of the bay and little villages all the way along." Brazil got gains, started his own bank, which later became the Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce. He died in the 1870s. He was well into his 90s. He recouped it in the 30s. When he got back to London, he's next to the bank here. Maud Lewis is a folk artist, kind of like she's at 11:30. Please. Where do you go to buy some supplies? Legal in Canada, so you can buy your special gummy bears. Not that I'm promoting it. There's a railway tracks between, so you can be comfortable in knowing you're not.
Boardwalk in Halifax. Port Halifax. Today is Tuesday, July 9th. We are approaching Sydney.
there isn't much anything interesting, but yeah, this is the Windward part.
How was your first winter in Canada?
Where in the States are you guys from?
I am from New Jersey.
New Jersey. There.
Stop.
Stop by the Robbins and wait for the other car
Wait for the other car?
to come if you guys all want to go together.
Yeah.
He just hung up. There's a message from my driver to your driver. Tell J. Paul to stop at the Robbins. Very famous. One of the most famous shows. Show. One of the most famous shows.
Doesn't even have guns.
There are no guns.
What's the most valuable thing you own? Two little keys. Why are they?
The private. This is a hurricane in this, guys.
Hurricane Fiona destroyed
3 years ago, buddy. So it knocked down all the trees and then they all died.
Louisburg Fortress Visitor
We go
Center.
inside and
Louisburg Fortress model.
Mommy, where's your this
After a while, made a truce with them. They will settle 1 hour from here. 1 hour north.
I want to take you before the
All right.
Look at Mama. Oh, look over there. I can see something walking. Oh, that's just a cow. That's just a cow.
Well, looking.
Yeah. Where are they?
Exactly. So we would have had 3 bastions and 3 half bastions. So.
Hey!
Okay. Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
Not a big
yeah,
group of
yeah.
people.
No, that's fine. Next
Just a
Monday.
regular tour.
Yes.
When you're done with them, drop them off.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
12:20.
Our sheep's, our
On Fridays of every week, Saturdays of every week, that adds up to almost 145 days a year in Newfoundland, where they were very close to the Grand Banks of Newfoundland, where the codfish was very plentiful. But everything changed in the year 1713 because of a treaty in Europe. The Treaty of...
There he came. Yeah. I remember that.
Yes.
You go walk outside. Today is Wednesday, July 10th. We are in Charlottestown. We are taking a boardwalk. Great George Street. St. Dunstan's Basilica. St. Dunstan's Basilica. Sculpture by John Hamilton Gray in front of the basilica. George Coles building. Province House. City Hall. City Hall. Lighthouse. Today is Friday, July 12th. We are nearing Quebec.
You are with me, okay? And the warm you have to work on it. Got it?
We are in Quebec.
For 19 years.
Old building
After
foundation.
19 years, she was given her freedom, and the laws of France said that when a person that has been enslaved is released, they become a free person. So she married a Mi'kmaq, and they opened a tavern. 500 people living here at the fortress. But in the summertime, like today, look at the harbor. It's filled with ships. You have about 3 times that number of people living here. And they're not the best people in the world, you know. New Englanders took a lot of material from the fortress back to New England, including the everything you see. So for a crime like that, we would put him in the jail, but then once a day, we would march down with the soldiers, the drummers, they would march right down here, and we would put tissues, and we would put the collar around his neck.
Could you turn that off, please? I'm sorry. I have to make a phone. Just wait a minute.
Okay, so let's talk about the man on the monument. Okay, Champlain is the founder of Quebec City, a great French explorer. The first time he came to 1603, he was in he came here in Tadoussac, about 200 miles from Quebec City. He died here on Christmas Day, 1635. During those 32 years he spent, okay, Orleans Island is about 22 miles long, maybe you saw it coming in. And after the island, the river widens a lot. Okay, it takes about 40 when they came here. It's a big village. Okay? And Quebec is also a First Nations word, and it means where the river narrows. So the word Quebec is exactly Quebec. Yeah. So it's like a K. Okay? Imagine a K instead of a Q. Little songs. Quebec is Quebec, and it means where the river narrows. Okay, so that's those are the 2 main reasons Champlain chose. So that the 5 Great Lakes. So some of you are from Chicago, so it's on the Great Lakes. The 5 Great Lakes represent 21% of all the fresh water in the world. Okay, the 5 Charles III. Okay? It means nothing, absolutely nothing. But still, he's our official head of state. So one of the first governors of Canada was Lord Dufferin, and he loved Quebec City. He wanted nothing. Russia hired the British cannon designer a few months after the start of the war. So the same guy. Maybe you know that Canada and the U.S. had a war in 1812, 1813. And so we put cannons here during that war to protect Quebec City. Okay, and at that time to protect the city.
The citadel to protect against America. America fought 2 wars and lost both of them.
It was over 600 rooms, so it's a big old guy. Okay? You see the section at the back, that's more recent. That was added in the 1990s, so about 30 years ago. They added a pool, a spa, a gym, and some other rooms to the hotel with a roof terrace. So, honors both sides. So you have Montcalm on this side, he was the French general, and you have Wolfe on the other side, he was the British general. Okay? Wolfe, the British won that battle, the French lost that battle, but both are honored the same way on the monument. Okay? And that's why it was the first monument in the world. If you wanted to work, you had to work in English. And being Catholic in public was not tolerated. Okay? By doing that, they thought that the French would leave and go back to France. Some of them did, most of them stayed here. And they continued speaking French and being Catholic for 11 years after 1763 when the British outlawed that. And so that meant...
Yes,
sorry.
I got it. But after 1935, do they have rules on you?
The 20 inches fewer windows out. Okay. If you wanted the case to the way they built houses. Except for one change. At first, like most Anglican churches in Great Britain, the roof was like this. After a few winters, 10 feet have changed the slope of the roof, 6 or 7 years. When they built the new bell tower on the new roof, a lot of people say that they made sure that... Now I want to talk about this building here, the Price building. So let me go this way. And when it was built as the headquarters of the Price Company, that this building was too big, too high, too modern. So Quebec City is a very safe city. Okay? In a city of 800,000 people, the average number of murders each year is between...
After this started, Steve's gonna videotape
It stays shiny. It stays shiny for about a year. After that, it becomes black for about 5-6 years, and then it becomes green.
Oh, really? First to black and then...
Oxidation. It's difficult to understand when you haven't seen it, but you had to be at a specific spot to get Independence Bank guys. Most of them were in Montreal from April to a few weeks ago, and they are now moving to Quebec City. So famous in the last 5-6 years. So a lot of people take pictures here. It was a working class neighborhood for a long time, and about 45 years ago, when they rebuilt this neighborhood to be more historical, they did this as a pedestrian street.
Soldiers. And the floor in the bakery there is an original floor. So if you were to walk there, you would see that when the archaeologists started the excavations here, they found the floor just as it is there, the floor of the bakery. The ovens are in the wall. They fire the ovens every morning with wood. Once the ovens are nice and warm, they
forge
take the ashes out of the oven. They wash
and the carnage.
the oven.
Little songs. And that's seemed to me today, maybe the last day. Well, I missed the jazz. I did go to the jazz this year. I'm not sure. I missed it completely. I used to go. Stop them. I'm so happy to see that they have removed. There was an encampment here. There was Palestinian demonstration. The tents were set up for good food on Crescent Street. It's too sunny today to go to the museum, but it's open till little shops. And that's 5 o'clock this afternoon. Little shops. And that's aside from Côte-de-Neige, is all part of Montreal, city of Montreal. Little shops, and that's seeing the new nice park. This is suburbia in Westmount. Walk down below on Sherwood. It's a very wealthy area here. If you want a house of $1 million, tax will be $16,000 property tax. Little shops, and that's seeing the new little shops, and that's seeing the new 5 minutes and you're in downtown Montreal.
9 out of 10 most famous streets in the world.
The funicular is right here, so we're gonna move this way. Come. So this is the end of our tour. I hope you learned a few things, even though it was short.
Today is Saturday, 13th July. We are in Montreal.
It's at the corner of Bruce St.
So we're going to go up to see the islands where the World's Fair was held. Our tour covers all the tourist areas, Old Town, downtown, and back. Notre-Dame is artificial. It has the casino on it. It's not fruits and vegetables market. That's another place with restaurants and Artist Lane after see after. Would you have a look? I'll point to the top. And you have also the summer. That's how they make the living, and they will sell you a nice print show. I didn't see it. I didn't go yet. Are running all summer. Those are very. On the left, we do have the science museum. The students are learning about Montreal. Now, all this area is Place Royale. And you have Old Custom House. This is stop number 3, but we have so much more on our tour today. You're going to love it.
He's got a hat on.
We have what's called the VJ. Look on the left, it's Habitat. Habitat was designed and Moise Safdie. His name was Moise Safdie. He said the living. So the History Center has moved to downtown last year. This very lovely square with the fountain.
Victoria Square.
The sculpture, this little park here, it is Victoria Square.
I feel like I'm gonna
And the downtown Montreal. We didn't pass by, but next to the church is the oldest building, the seminary. The seminary, and the colony was called Ville-Marie, founded by May. So 2 weeks ago for Canada Day. It was the birthday of Canada on July 1st. And the week before is the holiday of March. Little Italy will have it. And the Greek is about 67,000. Filipino, Portuguese. tour, and then we are going to explore all the view from downtown, all the way on the left quarter.
Ford.
Is that as hot as lava?
Excuse me, is that the design?
Yes, it's the decorative
Is
line.
that as hot as lava?
It feels like it.
Little shops. And that's, see,